What's your,
Who was those first? Who was those first people for you? Like that was like you shared this hip hop thing with. You're like, yo, you were excited about like, let's talk about this hip hop shit. Who was like, who are those people?
well, my path is really for a Canadian, Toronto-born
Yeah.
MC. My path was a lot different than most of the other artists from here. I was blessed enough to always be in New York, like since I was
Okay.
a baby. My aunt ran a church in Bed-Stuy,
Oh, okay.
and I have family over there from my mother's side and my father's side. So I was always in New York. So I actually met hip hop in New York, and I was one of those people that before even rapping, I started out as a break. I didn't start as an MC. I started as a break dancer. So I started from the dancing element,
Yeah.
and and at that stage we just it was weird because that era was like, if you know the timeline, it's not like now, okay, I'm just a rapper or I'm just a
Yeah.
DJ. You tried your best to do everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you tried rapping, you tried the DJing, you tried the breaking, you tried the graffiti, but for you to be rated in hip hop, you had, at least in our circle, you had to have like at least a B average in all those things. So a lot of people don't know, like for example, I could DJ. I've never shown the world ever. I could DJ, scratch, cut, like better than a
That's
lot of people you see, right? But it's just been, I just always was around DJs background. That's just the hip hop thing, right? So
that's
one
like
day I'll show that. So yeah, so I was between going to New York, coming to Toronto my whole life, being in Brooklyn my whole life, you know what I'm saying? I was there all those summers when the Canes, the special eds, and then I came back and I went to school here, right? I'm a Toronto. I was born downtown Toronto, grew up in the annex right downtown. So I'm a downtown Toronto kid, you know what I mean? But that spent every March break, every spring break, every summer. We got
for
in the
sure.
car, we just drove to New York. Even when I got my license, within 3 months we had my license. I got my license at 16. Was the first thing I did. Me and DJ X that Christmas, we jumped in the car, drove to New York City.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, so I came up with DJ X. That's good. You know DJ X, you must know.
Yeah.
So me and him were, that's how it started. So I had that buzz. I was going to Jesse Ketchum Public School, still there, Bay and Davenport. And I was grade 7. I transferred from Huron Street Public School, being a downtown kid. And I was that kid that knew hip hop was. So I was just looking for people who knew what it was at that time, because so few did. And then DJ X was in that school, my homie Supreme. That you know hip hop wise. My other homie Tyrone, he'd be surprised I remember his name. He was a dope breaker. And we just formed this little thing in school. But then it so happened that DJ X, his mother ended up working with Ron Nelson to promote a concert for this artist named Trinier. And everybody knows Ron Nelson. Ron Nelson, if you don't, you should know your Toronto history. He's our Kool Herc. He built the
Okay.
whole scene in the 80s and the 90s. All those big shows that people saw, that was our Rap City, everything, all those artists I went through Ron Nelson. So I met him when I was like 14.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah. And then my dad, I was supposed to be in hip hop, just by my lineage. No, it's interesting
Yeah.
because my
That's funny.
dad at the same time was working with Warren Wembley, who owns Sunshine. Everyone hears about Sunshine Sounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my dad, Warren Wembley, by trade, he's a tradesman, is an electrician. My dad is a plumber. So Warren's known me since I was 2 years old. So
Wow.
I was allowed to go to these concerts. And then I was like, I grew up in the annex. So you know what concert hall is, right? Everyone talks about concert hall. That's like 15 minutes
Yeah.
from where I live. So I'm young, I'm 15. I want to go to these rap shows that I normally can't go to. But Uncle Warren's throwing it. And
Yeah.
I'm doing promo with Ron Nelson since I'm 14, 15 years old. And I've
Yeah.
been going to New York and I know hip hop from New York, not from Toronto. You
That's
understand what I'm saying? And
yeah.
that's
No.
my
No.
circle of friends. So to make a long story short, that was my circle, how I started. And then after that, it was like my little circle was me, Mastermind, DJ X, Supreme. I recorded at Beat Factory. I was one of the first artists to ever record in Beat Factory before most of the known Beat Factory artists. And we did this demo called World Domination. That was my first rap group. And that's when I was in grade, yeah, I was grade 9. As I said, I was the 15th time. I was on Ron Nelson's show, and the rest everybody knows. It just rolled from there. But yeah, but the thing before, the lineage before, is the fact with me. That's why a lot of people hear me rhyme. They don't understand. I'm not putting on this like accent or any of my stuff. Like I lived every summer. That's when I go to New York. I have connections with people in New York City. See, throughout my career, they connect with me more, or they know me more because they feel, oh, you've been in the city. Yeah, my answer, even my family by lineage, I got generations back in New York City. There's buildings in the Bronx and Harlem. That's my family's like generations back. So I'm a little different. That's why I tell people, and that's why I think my resonance is a little different. And I just love hip hop. I love the rhyme. I never did it for cash. I never will.
That is hip hop.